Welcome to my channel, Military Comebacks. Today, I'm sharing a story that will send chills down your spine, a story of courage, desperation, and a split second that turns certain death into survival. It begins in the harsh mountains of Afghanistan, where jagged peaks slice across the horizon and dust hangs heavy in the scorching air. A small team of U.S. Army Green Berets was deep behind enemy lines on a classified mission, tracking insurgent movements, gathering intelligence, and disrupting Taliban supply routes. What was meant to be a quiet infiltration erupted into chaos at dawn. The mission collapsed in a storm of gunfire. Bullets snapped through the valley. RPGs screamed overhead. Smoke and cordite filled the air as the team found themselves ambushed. And pinned down, radios crackled with frantic calls for air support. But the response was agonizing. Assets inbound. Stand by. Minutes felt like hours. The Taliban fighters tightened their grip, closing in from higher ground. Ammunition was running low. The men were wounded. Survival seemed measured in seconds. Captain James Hawk Henderson crouched behind a boulder, scanning the tight canyon walls that boxed them in. Fast jets would struggle to maneuver there. The valley twisted like a snake, leaving little room for error. Then a voice cut through the chaos over the radio, calm, steady, unwavering. "This is Warthog 21. Sit tight. Got eyes on you." The team froze for a heartbeat. The voice belonged to a woman. Above them circled an A-10 Thunderbolt II, the legendary Warthog. It wasn't sleek or glamorous like an F-16 or F-18. It was built for one brutal purpose: close air support. It flew low, absorbed punishment, and delivered overwhelming firepower exactly where ground troops needed it most. There had been rumors about a female pilot who showed up when units were on the brink of collapse, a guardian in gray camouflage. At that moment, she was no rumor. She was their lifeline. But flying an A-10 into that canyon was nearly suicidal. The passage was narrow, twisting, and lined with enemy fighters armed with heavy machine guns and shoulder-fired missiles scavenged. From old stockpiles, one mistake could send her into the rock walls. Her voice never trembled. "I see the muzzle flashes. Mark your position with smoke. I'm coming in." Red smoke billowed upward from the Green Berets' position. Enemy fire shifted toward it instantly, trying to finish the team before the aircraft could strike. Then came the roar. Out of the blinding Afghan sun, between canyon walls, the A-10 dove low enough that the men swore they could see the pilot's helmet flash in the light. The shark mouth painted on its nose seemed to snarl as it descended. A split second later, the GAU-8 Avenger cannon unleashed its fury. The thunderous BRRRT tore through the valley. 30mm rounds, massive armor-piercing, slammed into enemy positions. The ground shook. Ridgelines erupted in explosions. Fighters scattered under the storm of steel. "Good hits, good hits," the team shouted. She pulled up at the last possible moment, barely clearing the canyon wall, dust trailing off her wings. Then she banked hard and came around again. "Hold the line. I'm making another pass." Once more the cannon roared. The PG teams vanished. Before they could fire, machine gun nests were shredded. Each run was a gamble with death. One lucky shot, one wrong angle, and it would all end in fire. But she kept coming back. Hope surged through the Green Berets. Pinned down moments earlier, they began pushing forward, reclaiming ground and returning fire with renewed determination. For 30 relentless minutes, she dominated the canyon. Between attack runs, she calmly directed them, calling out enemy positions and adjusting their movements. It was precision, under pressure, controlled fury wrapped in steady composure. And then finally, silence. The surviving Taliban fighters fled into the mountains. Smoke drifted across a scarred landscape of craters and shattered rock. But the Green Berets were alive. Breathing hard, Captain Henderson keyed his radio. "Warthog 21, this is Hawk. We owe you everything." Her voice softened slightly. "Negative, Hawk, you hold the ground. Just make sure you get home." Some of the men lowered their heads, eyes burning from dust, from sweat, from something deeper. They had been moments from becoming names on a list. Instead, they were standing. The A-10 banked away and disappeared into the horizon. 1. Soldier whispered words that would echo across bases and camps long after that day. She came out of that canyon like an angel. Her name rarely made headlines. It didn't need to. For the men she saved, she was unforgettable. That night around a quiet fire, they replayed the battle in their minds, the roar of the cannon, the silhouette of the aircraft against the sun, the calm voice that said, "I've got you." War takes more than it gives. It steals brothers, futures, and peace of mind. But sometimes, in the darkest hour, reminders of courage break through like light between canyon walls. This story isn't remembered for the bloodshed. It's remembered for the moment one pilot refused to let fear or danger stop her from saving lives. If this story moved you, share it with someone who believes in courage and sacrifice. And follow the channel for more stories that remind us what true heroism. It looks like because sometimes heroes don't walk into danger. Sometimes they fly straight into it and refuse to turn back.